Hey, it's me, SNAT, and this is a video I've been wanting to do for months now. Basically, if you know my content on my channel, you know my many animated series I do. Wii-Pals, Zapantoy, Reggie Retro, Total Warriors, Hero Man, and my Sprite music videos and anything I've done for the past 7 years as an animator. You most likely will know if you watch my stuff, including my Sprite Animation tutorial series where I do Mario and then Reggie Retro, in 4 and then 5 parts of showing you how I do animation using programs that basically get crapped or basically get shit all over across the web from people who do animation, people who do art, whatever. Believe me, I've heard it all, and I've been criticized and ripped and ridiculed and made fun of because the stuff I make isn't quality or isn't what it should be, or I can change my style or do something better. That people just look past what they're watching, see that I'm using, they ask, or they probably know because they know every program out there you can do stuff on. Good for you. Um, I get those programs you use are great. I don't know them all. I know of the Adobes. I know of Toon Boom. I know of Krita. I know of Fire Alpaca, whether they be art or animation programs. The highest end program I use is SAI Paint Tool or Paint Tool SAI, whatever. Um, that's the highest end I do, and I use that for Total Warriors, Hero Man, and for like the frequency filter music video I did last year for my friend Devin, and then other higher end things, my comics and stuff. I use SAI for with my tablet, but everything else you see on my channel is done using MS Paint, and then I put even my Total Warriors and Hero Man and music videos I put together using Movie Maker. Yes, I have the basic original ones from like Windows 7, Windows 8 era, and they work great for me. People are usually shocked as hell when I send them a link to my Mega Metro music video, or my Michael Jackson one, or Reggie Retro, or Zap and Troy, or a Weeples episode like the one where Will goes to Legend of Zelda 2 world and interacts and all kinds of fun fights, meets Dark Link. All these things, all the custom sprites you see, all the original sprites you see, all the backgrounds, all the NPCs and little bits and bad guys, whatever, sprite-wise, anything pixelated, I use MS Paint for to do with the USB mouse. Yes, I use it, and it's pretty damn efficient, pretty damn useful. People like, there's Sprite, or there's all these pixel programs. Good for them. I'm not going to use them, and you're not going to change my opinion. You're not going to convince me to use anything else. And I've talked to artists and animators who, at one point, tried to convince me, but once I showed them how effective I can use these two limited programs with Audacity for the audio and sound stuff, but for the art and animation side of a project, I'm using the two of the most basic Windows software programs ever made that aren't even really around anymore, that you have to go online and dig to find the proper one. I know the icons. I'm looking for the little paint palette with a brush, and I'm looking for the little film strip icon. Movie Maker, MS Paint, beautiful. I've done 7 years of animation using those two programs. I've done 20-minute sprite animation. I've done 14 and 10-minute sprite animation. I've done my Sonic music video. I've done Mega Man stuff. I've done my Chuck Norris crossovers and Double Dragon and Ninja Turtles. I've done numerous Wii-Pals episodes, like the one where Will and Phil go play Double Dare, or the silent film bits with Will, then suddenly in sepia tone at the end of the silent film episode 133 of Wii-Pals series. Every sprite animation you see in every Wii-Pals episode, yes, the Wii-Pals episode, they look poor quality. That's the way they have looked since I created the series as a webcomic 11 years ago. So Will and Phil and Boxy and Hank and Glurp and Lukita and Blitz and Shetty and whomever else, they're always going to look like that. Even if I use a different program, they'd still look like that. I wouldn't change it. I'm not going to make them super realistic. It's a cheap cartoon done. Cheap, yes, I admit it, it's cheap looking. But that's part of the appeal. It's the style they've had. My style has been my style since I started to draw 20 some odd years ago. Going back to my old comics, the old EC Elemental Comic stuff I drew as a kid, which is what I'm then using now to further the EC brand with Hero Man, with Total Warriors, with my comics on Amazon. Feel free to check those out. Those I draw with SIA, again, higher end, but I do use MS Paint. I use MS Paint to say every image I make Whether it's Sprite or Drawn or higher end Drawn. I use MS Paint because MS Paint saves a hell of a lot faster than you have to go through SIA and export it, and it takes a minute, the computer lags and so forth. I use MS Paint for all of it. Yes, MS Paint. And people out there, there's a few people out there who are fully MS Paint users like I am. And I respect you guys. I respect anybody out there who uses MS Paint for things that people don't think possible. You people don't get it. I understand why you use these high-end art programs and these easy animation programs because they make it simpler to do what you want to do. The thing is, I'm sorry, and I'm going to say this, I'm going to piss people off, and I honestly do not care because I've been pissed off for years from all this bashing because I'm using these inferior programs. Movie Maker was the first thing most people who made YouTube videos used for making YouTube videos. Before anything else existed, Movie Maker was the main thing for making movies, for early YouTubers, or for just making a slideshow, or compiling, Sony Handycam footage. So if you're going to judge me for using it, tough. I don't care. I've been using Movie Maker since I started going on YouTube 12 years ago. I still use it for animation because it's pretty damn effective. You do a 21-minute sprite animation, 3,000 frames, where every sprite, background, character, every damn bit of it was used with MS Paint to make them. Everything you see in my sprite animations is MS Paint and Movie Maker. Two simple programs that anybody should be able to use. Because it's like back in the day, if you grew up in the 90s with Apple computers in your school, you used a program called KidPix. It's the same thing. It's the same basic, simple art program where you use a mouse to draw and whatever. And I've gotten so damn good at it that I perfected it to a science. I could make a custom sprite for somebody in 5 minutes. I can make a full sheet for somebody in a fairly relatively short time. It does take time. I do put effort into it. I'm not cheaply making it. I use stock sprites from previous existing games, mostly like Mario, Mario All-Stars, Mario 2, or Mario 3, or Mario World, or Mega Man stuff, or what have you. But the thing is, I see people using basically taking the sprites and making their own characters across Twitter and so forth. I've seen a Solid Snake Mega Man sprite. So, I mean, I'm not the only one who does that. But again, I'm using MS Paint. I'm not using fancy programs. I don't need them. Because nobody else there, I'm guaranteeing you, all you fancy program users out there could not do what I can do. From scratch, which is what I'm doing. I'm customizing, copying, editing stuff, yes, but I'm still making every damn thing. I have full sheets of sprites I have made with the freaking mouse. Reggie Retro alone has like 80 sprites in his sheet. I made probably 300 sprites for the Reggie Retro series, if not more. And doesn't include background elements and things like that I threw in, like in the finale episode. I had little file cabinets. I have trash cans. I've had trees and things like that I've done, and it's all using MS Paint. So if you're going to judge me for using these inferior programs, go right ahead. But you can't do what I can do. I guarantee you cannot duplicate what I'm doing. If you can, good for you. You've proven me wrong. But I want somebody out there to prove me wrong. I'm challenging anybody out there who watches this video, who's seen my animations. Do a Sonic the Hedgehog 2.5 minute long animation where you do 74 backgrounds using the Casino Night Zone tile set off Sparta's Resource or Sprite Database, where we got that from 3-4 years ago. Do that. That was like 1,600 frames plus individually that I did. Do that. Make 74 backgrounds where it's pretty damn seamless. I make sure I'm better now than I was 6-7 years ago when I started doing sprite stuff. It was choppy. I admit it. It looked bad. It wasn't the greatest. Now I have it to pretty damn precise where I can make it look like a video game. No, I get about 60-70% of the reactions I get when they're positive. I thought this was a game. I've had people accuse me of doing flash games, ripping off flash game footage. No, this is frame-by-frame animation where I'm doing overlay. I make the background, I then copy that to another paint file. I clear the wall or everything but the floor, which is what I then put the characters on, the sprites on, if they're ground-based for the most part. And then I just, put whatever ones I need in, overlay. You see it on my tutorials. That's how I do it. It's overlay. It's cell animation, overlay, it's sprite, it's digital, but it's still basically what they used to do back in the day. But I'm using basic programs. I know I could get it to where I can have one seamless side-scrolling background using these high-end programs. I'm at the point in my life with everything going on personally, I don't have the time to fuck around with learning a new program. I know they're all basically the same. I've been using SAI for about 4 years now, but with the tablet, it's just like I'm drawing on paper, so that's natural to me. But when it comes to the sprite stuff, I've seen other people's sprite animation, like really impressive stuff, like Sonic for Hire or other things like that, professionally done, or those done with multiple people, or who do what they do, and I love it. Going back to like Code Monkeys. See, I model my stuff more after Code Monkeys, the old G4 cartoon series, because they move like Mario and them did. They don't have, see, a lot of the more modern sprite animations I see, full flail. I'm sorry, the sprites don't move like that. Their arms aren't doing a full 360. They're standard, they're stock. There's only 3 or 4 movement sprites, walking sprites. There's a jump sprite. There's other action sprites. But they don't do the fancy things that people are doing as sprite animations, and I love it. I respect it because you're doing it, and I respect any artist and animator out there who puts the time and effort into this. I honestly, though, like I said, I find a lot of the stuff they use kind of cheap, kind of shortcutty. Walt Disney didn't shortcut. Chuck Jones didn't shortcut. Don Bluth didn't shortcut. Fred Seibert didn't shortcut. All these animators growing up that we all idolize. If you watch old cartoons and you still watch cartoons today, you idolize it. Thing is, I'm sorry, it's just I see a lot of these animations and they're puppets. Literally, I've seen people say, "Oh, so I transfer the puppet from this to this program for another program, and then you can animate it." I'm sorry, I find that you're shortcutting. It's a freaking marionette. It's a stringless marionette in a digital program. Great, more power to you. I've seen it. I'm sorry, it just does not quite hold my attention. Does not quite hold my interest, because I know other people, other studios do that. Professional stuff do it, but I see people doing it, and they're like touting themselves as what they are, and I respect it. I'm not trying to insult anybody. I don't know names off the top of my head, so don't think I'm attacking any of you out there. I respect every artist and animator out there. If you're a creator of anything, you have my utmost respect. So the thing is, I'm only saying this because I don't get a lot of respect back. I know a lot of people who are new to animation are usually impressed, who have been animating for a while and don't do my thing are impressed. But I still get the haters and the critics and so forth, where they think they're being constructively critical or supportive or offering advice. They just come off as dicks. Fuck it, I'm saying it. They do. A lot of people out there don't know my style. And when I tell them, or they find out, or they just basically have this insight, using MS Paint, are you? Yes, I am. You could use this program. I'm not going to, but it'll make it look better. I don't give a crap. I'm not the greatest animator. I freely freaking admit that. But like I've said, I can do stuff on MS Paint and with Movie Maker that I guarantee you nobody or very few people out there can do. Again, like I said, I'm challenging you. And this part of the video is me challenging. Do a 5-minute sprite animation, 1,000 frames or less, or more, depending on what you do, using a stock sprite, or better yet, make a custom sprite. Make one of yourself, based off of Mario or Mega Man or Double Dragon or any other damn Final Fantasy. I don't care. Make a custom sprite sheet, or just use a stock sprite sheet. Use a 3040 sprite sheet, whatever. Find the Mario 3 sprite, or a Mega Man 3 sprite, or something like that. Use one of those. Do an animation. Do 15 backgrounds. Do 10, 15 backgrounds. Do it transitional. If you can do side scroll, great. If you can't, just make sure you line it up to where a tree on this side, on this side is then on this side. If a tree's on this side, the same tree has to be on the opposite side in the next frame, so it matches up to where it's seamless, to where you could literally lay the two backgrounds side by side, overlay it a little bit, and it's one extended background. That's what I do. I'm not great at it, but I get it 95% accurate every time. A pixel or two is off, but I'm getting better. It gets insane. I've done 40, 50. I did like Reggie Retro finale. I did like 40 backgrounds combined. Yeah, a lot of painstaking work. Every little thing signed, I customized, I tweaked, I edited, I whatever, and all the sprites I made and everything. MS Paint took me a long time. The animation alone took about a month of my time. Maybe not a full month, but let's say 100 hours. give or take. I don't know. I'm pretty good at it, so may not take that long. Only problem was because I was doing a lot of control, etc. I gave myself tendonitis in my left hand. It still hurts. I still gotta wear a brace every day. But people judge me for doing these animations with the cheap programs. They're cheap, but they're effective. I can pretty much defend. People rip on me like no other. They just get harsh on me, like, and then I get like attacked. You can attack me for using these programs. Do not attack my animations, though. Do not attack my art. I'm an artist. I'm sensitive about my crap. Yeah, I say crap. I freely say it because it's not the greatest. I'm sensitive about what I do, what I make, because I'm still putting hours into these things. Wii-Pals may not take as long, but I'm still taking a day or two on an episode. Depending on what it is, depending on how much animation. If it's drawn, I find drawn animation harder to do than sprite animation, especially when I'm doing Total Wars or Hero Man, because I'm doing a lot more detail on those things especially. But when I'm doing Wii-Pals, there's some out. You know, I'm doing voice sync, so I gotta make it look as best as possible. I'm better at that than I was 5 or 6 years ago. Watch the old crap. It's still funny, entertaining. Hank's always an idiot. It's just poorly done. It looks miles better than it did. It's never gonna be great. Wii-Pals is never gonna look like freaking Looney Tunes or something high end. People compare it to, you know, a dumb cartoon I never liked. Yeah, you probably there was Dr. Katz back in the day, Comedy Central, and then there's home movies on Cartoon Network, which I always fucking hated. But it's one of those early computer. It looks like an early computer animated cartoon. It's more modern, obviously. That's fine with me. People are gonna throw an homage or shout out like, "Oh, hey, this looks like something from the '90s." Cool. I'm fine. It means I get some respect because people like that style. It's unique. My style is very unique. I'm one of the more because I see a lot of animators out there emulating. I've talked to people who are like, "Oh, I'm going to do something. I'm going to go to Cal Arts where they." I hate that style. I'm sorry. Every third cartoon out there on Cross TV has that same style, and I'm like, I don't like it. My style is my own. My Wii-Pals characters look like Hero Man characters and look like Total Wars characters. The quality clearly varies, but it's all the same style. My style is my style, but more importantly, like I'm saying, this is about people who bash MS Paint. I see people. I've seen galleries. I've seen, you know, I've seen Instagrams, or I've seen deviant art pages where people are doing MS Paint art, and it looks freaking amazing. I'm not even that good with MS Paint. I'm good with sprites and pixel art, but I'm still. I'm never gonna like push myself. Although like my best MS Paint cartoon I think I did drawing wise was the 15-minute Hero Man movie I did 4 or 5 years ago, which is insane. People are like, you did that MS Paint? Yeah, I did. That took about a month to do that. That literally took about a month to do. And I'm not joking though. That probably took about 20, 25, 30 days to get that thing done. I don't know. I forget it. It was 4 or 5 years ago. I don't remember every damn detail about it. But I have all the frames. Everything, again, everything is frame by frame. I'm not cheapening it or shortcutting in any way. We're talking anywhere from, if it's a simple Wii-Pals episode, a couple hundred frames, to if it's Reggie Retro, it's 3,000 and change. Frame by frame, every single one of them, and they're all on MS Paint or saved on MS Paint. But MS Paint is the key program I use for everything I animate. I'm not gonna function without it, and you're not gonna change my opinions. You're not gonna make me go to some other program. People are like, I'll send you a link, just download this program, or I'm like, hey, you should really look at this program, make your stuff look so much better. I don't need to, because I can again prove that I can do things with these programs that you'll never be able to do. And I've talked to people who, you know, laughingly admit, no, wait, dude, I don't have the patience for that. I do, but I push myself and I burn myself out doing it. Again, 3,000 frames, 20 minutes. Have fun. Do that. I want someone to do... I would love to see somebody there trump me. No, not that version of the word, but, you know, one-up me. You know, basically put me in my place. Do a 5-minute sprite animation. We're using a sprite sheet, proper sprite sheet, classic sprite sheet. You can customize it, make it original, like my Alt Suit Mega Man or my Chuck Norris Double Dragon sprite, whatever. But I can even send you sprite. Here, use these. Just credit me as a sprite creator. And do an animation like I do using MS Paint, Movie Maker, and Audacity for the sound portion of it. Which is another trick, as you've seen in my tutorials before, lining up the sound effects and getting it to where it looks perfect, or 95% perfect. Yes, people have argued that I have slow time, or, you know, the text doesn't go at the right speed, blah. Or people are like, I get why you did this, dude, but the music doesn't work, or something like, whatever. I do it. If I get commissioned, if I get paid to do a music video using someone's chiptune music, or a song, I'm doing it, and I'm going to do it the way I want to. I'm doing all my sprite animation as an homage to the era in which I grew up in. Where Sonic and Mega Man and Mario and all these games and all these characters were in their prime, 80s and 90s, 16-bit sprites, and I love them to death. I'm better doing the side-scroll platformer style or whatever, because when I tried using Star Fox sprites from the SNES game, I think I tried pushing myself to figure it out, and it was too confusing because it's not a side-scroller. I'm used to doing a platformer animation, but I do stuff like the menu scene Reggie Retro. That's frame by frame. That's not using a menu program and then compiling it into the video. That's me doing every bit of text and every little icon you see. I move the arrow one little bit at a time, but make sure the image lines up so everything matches, and that's painstakingly annoying. That's another aspect of the animation I'm doing. Every little menu you see in an animation I do, Reggie Retro or even a Wii-Pals episode, with little options, and then you select it, and then you go to another menu, or you go to the game, or you do a pause screen, whatever. That's all me doing MS Paint. It's time-consuming as hell, and that just means it's worth it when it's done. When I take 2-3 weeks to do a big project, my 14 or 10-minute or 20-minute Reggie Retros, or even the more advanced stuff using SIA Paint Tool, it's worth it. I love watching it when it's done, or watching it as I'm making progress. It's so enjoyable. I'm so into it. I'm autistic. I was diagnosed as autistic, so I have such exquisite attention to detail when I'm doing it, and I will literally, nope. Because there are parts when I'm doing double or triple overlay, or I have a character walking behind something. If you watch my Michael Jackson Moonwalker Bad Edition video, the part where he's going up the stairs, I painstakingly, because I got the backgrounds from Michael Jackson's Moonwalker on Sega, the stairs he goes up, I had to crop that out of the background I made, because I used the background from the game. I just took a chunk and maybe put elements here and there. It's not, I'm not directly taking, I'm customizing it from the game background. So again, I'm doing full custom. I took the sprite for the stair, the big stair sprite, big pixel stairs. I copied it, and then I painstakingly used a freaking mouse to white out what needed to be white it out, so I can then overlay the stairs with the railing without, and then had Michael go up them, and then so I had the background. I had 2 overlay frames with the background already there, and you have to, I line it up when I overlay, make sure the sprite moves at the right speed, like it's watching my tutorial series, which I'll post a link below. Overlay, so I put Michael on the stairs, so he was technically in front of the stairs, but then I overlaid the separate stair sprite in place perfectly. You have to line it up sometimes. It does glitch. If you don't have it perfectly, you have to do line up, and I, Control V to make sure, and then boom, finally save to where, here's the stairs, and Michael's walking behind the stair railing, so he's walking on the steps. That's what I do. I've done similar tricks in Reggie Retro. I've done similar tricks in Wii-Pals Sprite Animation episodes. It's a royal pain in the ass, but it's fun to do. I enjoy it, because I'm like, I love when I get it just right. Again, watch my earlier Sprite animations. They're not as flawless. They have a lot of problems. Ones I did for my Nintendo site back in the day, which are on my playlist. The channel's still up there. I just don't do a crap on it. That channel's been dead for years. But there's some chunky ones. Before I did the overlay system, I was doing it by hand. I was just eyeballing it like, that looks good. So you watch my older ones from 2012, 13, 14-ish or so, and they're choppy. But then in like 2014, 15, I started doing the overlay system, which is what I've been doing ever since for the last 4 or 5 years. And I get it to where it looks, people think this is a freaking game. That's boom. If people think they're watching a game, cool. I can't animate power rings because the power ring has a lot of sprites as they rotate. I can barely even put coins in an episode. I do the question block, but the question doesn't move or anything like that. So I'm kind of, I take shortcuts because I am using a limited program, but I make it look, again, 95% like the proper game I'm basing it off of, or look like an actual game that would actually exist, like for Reggie Retro, which is my goal. Which, by the way, there's more of those coming sometime this year, I promise you. Part 2 is coming up, or Season 2 is coming up. The sequel game's coming up. But I just want to say this right now one more time before I go on for another hour and a half. I'm nearly 25 minutes now. MS Paint and Movie Maker are great programs. Do not bash them. I think people bash them because they're afraid of using them, because they don't know how to use them, because they're so simplistic and easy to use that you're so used to using the advanced stuff, or like I said, cheaper stuff, Not saying the programs, not saying the software is cheap, but when you're, because it probably costs a shitload of money, but when you're using these programs that just allow you to, you know, animate based on a wireframe system, use marionette puppets to freaking make your characters move. I'm sorry. I'm just sorry. It doesn't look nearly as good. It may be digital, it may look flawless, the character design may be great, but it's not, to me, what animation should be, because it takes away from the core of what animation is. I'm not doing traditional, but I'm doing digital traditional. I'm doing traditional in a digital way, or digital animation in a traditional style with the overlay, whether it be sprite or drawn in one way or the other. That's how I animate, and I'm not going to change it. I've been doing it for 7 years and change, and nobody else out there is going to convince me to use these programs. You can say, I will send you a copy, I will PayPal you money, just buy this program, and you will love it. I take the money, I just wouldn't use it to buy the program. I just use it to buy something else. I have fun with the money. I'm sorry, just saying. Or better yet, I'd put it towards my EC brand. Trust me, I need funding for it to renew my website in a few months. But I'm not going to adhere to what a lot of people, I'm not adhering to the stricture, to the scripture. I'm not going to just, I'm not going to sell myself out to use these programs. I'm sorry, that's what I'm going to say. I'm not going to become a sellout, use these programs because everybody else in the world is using them. Good for you. Professional animators use them. More power to you, because you make cartoons that I still watch. Not as much as I used to, but I do still watch cartoons on TV. I'm sorry. I'm an old school animator. I'm an old school in a lot of ways, but I'm going to be an old school animator as close as I can. Sure, if I could do proper physical animation, I'd be fucking awesome. I still want to do stop motion sometimes in the next year or so, and that'll be using probably be using Movie Maker for that too. Sorry, I could find a way. I'll use it. But yeah, I'm an MS Paint Movie Maker user, and I will defend those, and I will use those programs till I stop animating, and I don't know how. Whenever I stop animating, let's not put a timeline on that. I'm an animator. I use cheap program. I use the lesser programs, and tough crap. Basically, if you don't like what I use, fine. You use what you use. That's cool. I always say, basically, play what you play, game what you game, play, animate or draw how you animate or draw. As long as you enjoy what you do, and see, that's the thing. People don't even take a lot of it into consideration. I love using MS Paint. It's easy to freaking learn. I'll teach anybody out there how to use these programs, and it won't take that long to do. Honestly, it's the simplest thing to do. It really is. People crap all over it. I use a mouse. I use a tablet to draw on MS Paint, or do tablet SAI. I do every sprite thing you see is with one of these damn things. I think that's probably the part that people are rather impressed by, or just like, seriously, dude, you should just go to hell. You can't do what I can do, and I guarantee it right now. Again, feel free to freaking shut me up. Feel free to shove it back in my face. Post a link below if you've done a sprite animation using those two programs. No, I know what those programs look like, but see, I want proof. I want you to screenshot and upload it on some image sharing site, Instagram or Photobook, whatever, and be like, boom, or tweet me at FyreeTSG, and be like, see, I'm using this program. I am using MS Paint. Okay, good. I know what the programs look like. I know what I'm doing. I know everything about those programs for what I'm using them for. So I can prove if you're BSing me if you were to actually try to do this. I would love to see somebody try to, one-up me. Trump, which is a good word, just don't think of it as the president. Somebody try to trump me or one-up me or shove it back in my face using some superior program to do a 21-minute or a 10 or 15 or 5-minute sprite animation. Do a music video like I do. Do a parody of Mega Man. Do a Mario game where he fights Donkey Kong or something like that. Using those core sprites from those old games. Believe me, they're all across the web. I have plans to do other sprite animations, including ones using the Rampage sprites from NES, the classic Midway game. But using ones from there was a freaking Gilligan's Island game. I want to use those sprites. I may bring back Popeye. I may bring back my Double Dragon Chuck Norris sprite because I love using Chuck Norris in animations. Or something else. There's tons of sprites I haven't even touched. Doki Doki Panic could come back. I customized a lot of those too, which you'll see in the Don't Panic episode of Wii-Pals. All the things you see in those animations, I'm doing on the simplest of programs, but people out there don't, or I think they just, I think that I'm going 30, I don't care. I think the people out there who don't use those programs, they don't know how to, or they're too afraid, they're too afraid to try, like, or they get those two programs automatically get the worst reputation of any programs out there. I've seen tons of things I've Googled, MS Paint animations or Movie Maker animations, and it's just hatred. And I noticed, I saw this a while ago, it's the same person replying to the top most recent post. I'm like, God, you're horrible. You hater. You flat out hater. I'm like, I guarantee you suck at using those programs. People typically hate what they fear or fear what they hate. That's what I figure. I don't like that, so I hate it. Or I'm afraid of using that, so I hate it. That's so broken. I'm saying I admit I'm kind of saying that about the other programs that I will never use, the advanced superior programs that everybody in the world will basically convince me to use. Not gonna use them. You ain't gonna use MS Paint, I guarantee it. Why would I use what you use then? I enjoy it. That's the whole point of being an artist or an animator, is you enjoy what you do, and it looks damn good. I can do things, again, you probably couldn't do, even with your using superior programs. Because you would cheapen it, or you wouldn't put the time into it, or you would give up. I guarantee you, and I've talked to people out there who have said they wouldn't bother, or they would give up, or they wouldn't have the patience. I'm like, okay, we'll start with something. Do 100 frames. Do what it did in the Mario tutorial. I did like, I don't know, 60, 70 frames, and it was like 8 seconds of animation. Do that. Do a 15, 20 second animation. All the sound effects and music lined up. Everything perfectly. To where Mario kicks a Koopa Troopa, you know, hit the block, whatever, does something. Mario throws a fireball, which is really tricky to do, by the way, because you got to get it bouncing. I know, I see in Sprite, when I start doing Sprite animations, I'm visioning what I'm going to be doing with it, and I start thinking in pixel. I think of how I can make something out of sprites or pixels, and it's fun to do. That's part of, okay, autism, woo! That's part of the madness of it, and I don't care because I love doing it. So, if you heard that, I apologize. I'm not editing this. This is going too long. I'm not going to redo it. But yeah, I want somebody out there. I want you to admit that you're afraid to use MS Paint, or you don't like MS Paint because you're afraid to use it, or you think it's crappy. It's not. It's one of the core programs. Every kid, I'm guaranteeing you, at least for my generation, and maybe a few years after my generation, up through the 90s and early 2000s, everybody out there was using the cheap computer drawing programs. I mastered it. I mastered it 10 years ago, and I'm still using it to this day because it makes effective looking animations. If you think you're watching gameplay footage from an 8 or 16-bit game, I've done my job. People want Reggie Retro as a game. You're welcome. Somebody figure out there to code it, and I would give you the sprites and so forth, and we can make a mint. If I'm getting paid, that'd be awesome. But I see people just, it's hatred. They get, I'm not trying to hate the other programs. I'm not saying I hate them. I just refuse to use them. That's my creator's license. That's my prerogative. Whatever. You've noticed that my prerogative song sounds a lot like the Star World theme from Mario World. Anyways, but that's a little bit. If you watch that, if you catch that part, comment below. I'm going on now. I don't even care. This will be a long video. I need the view time. I'm rambling, but I don't care. MS Paint and Movie Maker are effective programs. Simple as that. If you don't like them, for whatever reason, if you think they're inferior based on everybody's preconceived judgment about those two programs, give them a try. I've seen YouTubers rip them to shreds where they were trying to draw with it or use it for something, and they just fucked around and said, I don't get how to use this. It's not that freaking hard, dude. Okay, mouse drawing is not easy. Get a tablet, it makes it a little bit easier. Doing pixel by pixel by pixel shit with one of these is a pain in the ass. But it is fun to do. I am damn good at it. I can make a custom sprite in like 5 minutes based off Mario 2 Mario All-Stars hero sheet, which includes the 4 characters you play as in the game. I can make, I mean, look at the ones I did for Reggie Retro. Cartox the Mutant with the tentacles. Look at Axia the Renegade with the axe and his wild hair. The hair was a hedgehog for Mario 2 sprite. And the goggles are tweak Sniffit goggles. And you see how I made a couple sprites for that tutorial series. And I have more planned. I'm doing tutorials for using Mega Man and Sonic sprites, and maybe my Chuck Norris ones, because those are the ones I typically like using. I may even do one with my Michael Jackson Moonwalker tutorial series. Hell, it's a lot in that sheet, by the way. That animation was a pain in the ass to do, where I have 3 or 4 characters moving on screen. Every single one overlay for that, but I have it to an exact science. I can do one of these. I could do something like that in relatively short time, because I know how to do it so well. People think I'm cheapening it or making it quicker. I get all the whole quality of quantity shit. Go to hell, because it's quality animation that you could not do even if you freaking tried. I guarantee you, again, I'm going to be a harsh douchebag. I'm going to hate on you who hate on me. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Or, actually in this case, hate the dude, don't hate the guy who makes game-style animations. You're jealous. I'm jealous of, hell, I'm jealous of people who have the talent that I will never freaking have. I'm jealous of all the artists and animators out there who make shit look real or make shit look insanely awesome. 3D animators, people who do CGI work, people who do these awesome 2D things. You guys impress the hell out of me. I would just like a little bit I get some of it, but I feel like I'm getting a lot more hate than I should be simply because I'm using these 2 inferior programs, which I could run circles around with you with. I could. Nobody out there has done what I'm doing. I don't know what's on YouTube. I don't watch 96% of it. I watch my stuff more than anything, or I watch music videos from the 90s or 80s. People hate on it, and I get why. It's a fear thing. It's based upon a reputation that those 2 programs have. It's numerous reasons. I'm not hating on the other programs. I would never hate on what you use as an artist. The medium or media you use to make your creations is awesome. But I give you the respect that I would appreciate in return, because I've never once criticized somebody's stuff. I'm not attacking any artists or animators, writers, musicians, creators, imaginators of any kind, which is a thing from Gumball, not Spyro. So Gumball got that first. That's a series I respect. That series has so many styles of animation, and I love it for that reason alone. And it's funny. But people out there who rip me for using these programs, why? I've heard a million reasons why you rip on these programs. I think it's just because you are too afraid to try. I'm not afraid to try these other programs, honestly. I just don't want to use them. If you want to send me them, I would consider downloading them. I wouldn't use them because they would just be a waste of space on my laptop. I need that space for animation frames, for my 2,000 frames for a cartoon. I need I'm just not going. I know they're small. Programs are like 2 or 3 gigabytes probably. I don't want to. I just don't want to. And that's fine. That's probably what you're going to say to me about MS Paint. The thing is, MS Paint is so simple to use. Kids, at least they were when I was a kid, or they were when I was in my teens and 20s, grew up learning how to draw on those programs. You mess around. You fuck around with it. It's basic. I can't imagine what they're doing nowadays. All right, everybody, open up Adobe. Open up Photoshop. We're going in. We're going to draw a teddy bear. That's a good stick figure, Billy. People rip, and that's cool. Rip me. Rip me for using them. Please don't rip my animations. You couldn't. I want somebody out there to tell me yes I can, and to show me proof. Show me video documentation. You have all the if you have those programs, you have full screen cap and full webcam and all these things. You can have 4 angles with your face in the corner of the screen, and then here's this, and here's your multi-screen layout. Show off, I don't care. Show me you can do what I can do. As of right now, I'm not YouTube. I'm not going to Google on YouTube. I'm not going to search on YouTube. That's an oxymoron. Or redundant, whatever. I'm not going to search on YouTube to find animations, sprite animations, in the same style I do, that are longer than mine. Because if there are any out there, feel free to show me, and I will probably be incredibly impressed. But I guarantee you, all those are using the advanced programs that make it's a wireframe sprite at that point in time, where Mario's arms are moving in rotations, which they don't do in Mario 3. Purist. I will always be a purist in terms of the classic games. I know how the sprites move. I use them all the damn time. I've customized most of them. I do insane things. I have a Mario football quarterback sprite, which I haven't finished, using the Mario sprites, using charging chuck's helmet and other bits, where I have 4 or 5 made, but I have a whole sheet I haven't even finished yet, and he's going to have all kinds of animations I still want to do with that, all kinds of motions and actions. He'll be throwing, kicking, running. I have so many things I've done. This is going on. I don't even care anymore. This is not going to get edited. We'll end it here, I promise. I do so many insane things with MS Paint that people are mind blown whenever I show them an animation. People think they're watching a game. That's my goal, like I said. If I make you think you're watching Mega Man in a funky colored suit, and then he gets a power up and becomes Samus suit or various suit Mega Man and fights Ridley, and you think that's gameplay footage, thank you. That's what I'm going for. I'm not going for crazy style. And when it comes to Wii-Pals stuff, the style has been the style for 11 years. Will and Phil of them are never going to change the look. The style I draw them is the style I draw a lot of my characters. My more advanced stuff here on Total Wars, again, using SAI for the drawing of the frames, but I copy and paste it. I do overlays and stuff as well. Well, not anymore, but I used to. But I copy and paste it into Paint and then save it, because it saves a lot quicker than anything else. I use Paint and Movie Maker for every damn thing I do, advanced or not. That's what I use. I'm not stopping it. I'm not going to change programs, because I can get the job done, and I do it pretty damn well. All right, that's me. That's me. I'm an MS Paint, Movie Maker, Audacity, and SAI Paint Tool user. MS Paint and Movie Maker are the 2 key programs I use for every damn thing you see on my YouTube channel, animation-wise. If you don't like that, good for you. I'm not going to use your programs because I don't feel the need to. I can get a damn good animation done anywhere from a day or 2 to a month. The Reggie Retro series only took about 1.5 years to complete from start to finish, from initial sprites and backgrounds to the final episode. And that was done, yeah, over a course of time. But I can do that with these 2 shit programs that you will never like. For whatever the reasoning, people out there hate them. I get to a degree, but I'm like, seriously? Try them. Try to do what I do. That's what I will do more tutorials if I need to. But those are my programs. That's how I do it. That's my style. That's my choice. Deal with it. If you don't agree with me, let me know. Rip me. I don't care. Don't touch the animations. Don't go and troll my animations, because I will block your ass from my channel. And I will give better than I get in that respect. If you do admire me for using these programs, let me know. If you're a fan of MS Paint, Movie Maker, if you use them yourself, awesome. You and me are family. Comment below. Like if you want to. I expect a lot of thumbs downs on this video. I don't care. I have one video that has my most thumbs down. It's one of my first Sprite animations. It's shitty as hell, but there's no reason, no explanation, no comments as to why it has like 9 or 10 thumbs downs. It's my Super Mario Punch-Out, where Mario jumps on Mike Tyson's head, and it's so crappy. I want to redo it. I want to make a new one based off that. I want to make it so much better. I'm like, this is what it should look like. But if this gets hate, cool. Hate me. Just don't hate my stuff, because I kill myself doing it. Again, I'm going to keep repeating it because nobody else out there can do it. Like, if they can, cool. I don't know anybody out there who has a 21-minute animation that's 3,000 frames, all sprite, custom, original shit. Find me that, post it in the comment below, and I'm like, okay, cool. But if you yourself can do it, even better. I will be impressed. I will applaud you. You use a better program to do it, even better. But if you use Paint and Movie Maker, thank you. All right, I'm ending it now at 45 or so. Thank you for watching. Make sure you check my stuff. Please don't troll me and hate my stuff because I use these programs. If you respect me and admire my work as an artist and animator, thank you. That's all I want. Because I do the same to you any day of the week. Make sure you subscribe. I'd appreciate it. I'm climbing the ladder now. I need to get this. Will help my view time go up. Somebody sits there for 45 minutes to listen to me ramble on about these programs. And again, here. All right. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, comment, share. Please don't be a harsh douchebag. All right.